So New Zealand is introducing gun control laws while not knowing where the mosque shooter got his guns. Hello everybody, how are we doing today? So thus far, not much is actually known about how the shooter, Brenton Tarrant, obtained his guns. What is known is he acquired what New Zealand terms a Class A gun license and began stockpiling semi-automatic guns that were most likely purchased in Australia. I understand from various sources that New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern had wanted to increase gun legislation in New Zealand for some time, and this was exactly what she needed to make that happen for her. It's a classic use of a concept I've recently learned of, but I am already well aware of its underlying principle. This concept is called the Hegelian dialect, or the problem-reaction-solution model. The Hegelian model is exemplified in the episode of the old Monster of the Week TV show from the 60s, The Outer Limits. The episode is called The Architects of Fear, where an astronaut is transformed into an alien to create a problem. He is then sent out into public to scare people to create a reaction, and then the government kills him as a solution. The idea being that our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat, to paraphrase Ronald Reagan. But that still makes use of the Hegelian dialect, and there's other examples of it as well. This crisis of this New Zealand mosque shooter simply provides them with the problem they needed to push something onto people that they already wanted to push anyway. And this just makes their job easier. This is not to say that the problem was created by the New Zealand government, but it's used conveniently. It follows a consistent pattern. What is rather shocking about this whole story is that in Brenton Tarrant's manifesto, he specifically says that he used firearms to spark a race war in the West. Could be a racist nutjob. Maybe he's controlled opposition. Maybe a paid liberal activist. A false flagger. Or he just simply hated Muslims. But we might not ever know for sure now. Until the police interrogate him and we hear the full story. But how much of that story can we honestly say is going to be factual? A lot of the time, police will get a false confession out of someone. Because they'll just tell them whatever it is the police want to hear just to get the torture to stop. It's just not the best way of determining the truth. It just isn't. But that aside, the New Zealand government is using this as a platform to sell their new gun control laws to people. Using the Hegelian dialect. Problem, mosque shooter. Reaction, everyone's crying, it's tearful, all the poor dead Muslims. And then solution, gun ban. Even though we still don't know how he got his guns. Gun control does but fucking nothing to keep people from getting guns. They're just going to buy guns on the black market. If anything, this will strengthen the black market. And I refuse to believe that these politicians are dumb enough not to understand that concept. Hint, hint, it's probably not about keeping people safe. In fact, I guarantee you it's probably the opposite of that. Anyway,